Good morning. This is what I think is more like a public service announcement. There is software that I've been using for a lot of live streaming. I'm using it now, and that I've been making a lot of videos on, and I've been getting a lot of questions on, and it is called Ecamm. There you go. I just put it up there. Ecamm. And Ecamm I've had for 5 months now, thereabouts, and I've tested a whole lot of other live streaming software, and it's my favorite. And the reason I'm doing this is tomorrow they're raising the price. And I'm just trying to think of how much. It's almost double. It's going up something like 70 or 80%. It's quite phenomenal what you get for it. So I thought I would just A, let you know that, and B, just show you around a little bit, and just to let you know that I'm actually going to make a series of videos explaining what live streaming is, and where it fits in and where all the elements fit in, because so many people are confused about this. And why wouldn't you be confused? I mean, nobody has ever told you any of this. And it's all been dumped upon us since COVID has come on. We're all now just doing this virtual and live and all this stuff. It's just, it's crazy. So, Gerald, OBS is free. I get that. OBS is great. And I'm not here to pitch any of this to anybody. I'm just letting you know that I've had a great testing with this, and this price is going up. So if you're fence sitting, now is a great time to get onto this. So let me just show you around a little bit. Where would we start? Why don't I go into this? So what you're looking at now is, and I'm just on my webcam. Normally when I do this, I have 2 iPhones set up here, and you can do more with it. But at the moment, you're just looking at a straight feed. And yeah, hey Lisa, it's great. And Lisa's just said this sounds like the best solution for us Mac users. And this is the thing about Ecamm, it's for Mac only. So if you are a PC user, I'm sorry, go and try. I mean, and I've been playing around with Manicam, or as Gerald suggested before, what you can do is OBS is free, and OBS is great. I mean, I got it sitting down here. It's amazing what you can do with this. I think the biggest takeaway out of all of this too is don't get hung up on this technology, because there is not one piece of technology that is going to do everything the way that you want it to do. It just doesn't work that way. I get so frustrated because, if it only did that as well. And it doesn't matter what you get, you're going to come up against that. Now, let me just put this in perspective as well, because, I mean, I came from decades being involved in live TV production. And what you can do on your desktop now, 10 years ago, required a crew of not just one crew, it required 2 crews at opposite ends with a satellite link in between them. That satellite link you had to book for maybe 10 minutes if you wanted that, and it started it started on the dot and cut off. Like if you booked it for 10 minutes at 9:59, snip, it went, and it cost you a lot of money. It cost thousands of dollars to book it. So this is just amazing. And this, you're paying $20 or $30 a month type fees. It's different. There's all different levels, but let's just say regularly for what we want to do here, under $50 a month. You can get this, and you can use your what you've got in front of you, and it's amazing. You can broadcast to the world. We've got big echo on new interview mode. Yeah, so what they got. now I'm not sure who that is because LinkedIn is is not putting the names up there. So the reason they're upgrading the price on Ecamm is that they brought in many features, and one is this new interview mode where you can literally just have 4 guests come in. You can send them a link. They don't need any special gear. You just send them the link. They open it in their browser. As long as they've got a webcam and a mic, you can bring them in. I don't know about the big echo. They're working through this, but again, it's the power that you can do this, because I've got the comparison from how hard it was to do this to how easy it is to do or how available it is to do just on your desktop. But it is like a house of cards at the moment. The fact that you can do all this, it's like you're layering all these features on top of each other. And quite often it only requires a little breeze and the whole thing just comes tumbling down. But anyway, hey, Cynthia, thanks for that, passing that on. Can you, Lisa wants to know, can you use it for podcast audio interviews? Can you use it for podcast? Well, you could. There's no reason why you couldn't, but I wouldn't, because it's you've just got all this other excess power. Anything that you use on your computer, any extra bit of software, it's like puts extra load on your computer's engine. Think of it this way. Think of it as though you're on a treadmill, right? So you're on a treadmill, and then somebody comes along and says, I'm just going to sit on your shoulders, right? Because it's like an extra add-on that they're going to give you. And like, so it's extra effort for you. And then somebody says, can you also write this while you're running? And so you're trying to concentrate and you're just exhausted. So if you're going to do audio only, don't use a video program. It's just, it just doesn't make sense. It's amazing what we can do compared to back in the day. Scott from the U. Hey, Scott. Yeah, back in the day, it is. It's just, and I can't tell you how fast this is getting. I'm all scatterbrained because I've just thought I'd just come on and give this to you as almost like a public service announcement. So I'll just take you for a little show around. So typically, this is what you would see if I was doing a presentation. And so let me drag that over there. Oh, I can resize that. No. So I'm just on my webcam at the moment, but really what you're seeing is, in a sense, you can build up these layers and put things on top of each other. So what you're seeing frame around me is a frame that I made up just using Keynote and some Photoshop. So it's essentially like it's a TV set with a hole in the middle and an iPhone frame with a hole in the middle. And if I were to turn those off, because these are just layers that you can turn on and off, you can see that it's like putting a skin over the top with holes in the middle, and you can put things behind it. Now, this is just one of the literally hundreds of different ways that you can just mix all these things together. So this here is it's my Keynote. And so if I just tap on that and go ahead, you can just by scrolling through, it's just the Keynote on my desktop. So again, if I take away that frame, you see it's let me just tap on there, and you can just move through. This is just the Keynote is just playing in a window. If I escape that, you would see there's more your typical Keynote view with your slides down the side. And this is something if a lot of people don't realize. If you've got Keynote or PowerPoint, when you go to play them in play mode, rather than just hitting the play button, which takes over the full screen, you can play them in a window, which is really useful. So I'm just playing that in a window now. So that's in play mode now, so you don't see anything but the final image. And you can scroll through it. So what you've got there is me just on my webcam. Now this webcam, what you can do is you can change the shape of the window that's in. Just go to wide, and you can change the size on that, position that around anywhere. And this is all standard on most of these programs can do this. What was in, I think I was in tall if I was going back. And I just resize myself. I'm guessing here, because if I put that screen back on the top, I would size all, I have that all sized up perfectly when I'm using my iPhones. So that is what you can set up different scenes like this. But then if you wanted to maybe just share your screen, so now I'm just in share screen mode, and I'll turn my camera off. So then you could share your screen, but see, if you don't want your image behind it, there's so much functionality in this. So for starters, if you don't want your desktop icons, you can turn those off, all your little folders and stuff. But if you don't want the desktop picture, you can turn that off as well. And sorry, wrong thing. Let's just move that window out of there. Now I'm running two screens, and so I've got a ton of stuff on that screen as well. And you can choose which desktop that you want. If you've got secondary displays, there you go. You're looking at the other one there, so you can just go back and forth between those. Let me turn those back on. That's what you can do there. TV studio versus desktop. Now, I'm in live stream mode here, and let me just show you this. So what you're seeing there is my desktop, but it's not what you're seeing, because you're not seeing all the Ecamm software, but I'll turn that on for you. So that's actually what I'm looking at now. So there's your comments down there. Hey, thanks, John. See, and if I'm going to go down to John here now, John Fitzsimmons, Ecamm is amazing. If I click on John, then his comment comes up, and you can position those comments to go anywhere. And you can set it that the comments, now John will turn off in about 20 seconds. It'll just turn off. But this is all the little windows that you can set up. And you preset everything. This is what I love about Ecamm, is that these here are some of my presentations. So this is a 2-hour presentation, and when I open it, I've preset all these scenes. So I know that I'm coming from me in one camera mode to me in the windows to a video to back, and all I do is I just advance from one scene to the next. So I don't have to go, which shot am I on? All I do is hit next, and it's all timed in with my presentation, and I can do a whole 2-hour presentation. Now you can go to videos as well. There's nothing like Kiwis drinking beer, huh? I use that as an example in some of my workshops with transitions, and it's such a great way to go from one scene to a next, and particularly in this time of COVID where we're all virtual, is you can connect people. So what have you got that you can pass between each other? Is there something common that you've got in your industry or your business or your group? There's so many different ways you can have fun. And the language of video is free. It's free. You can you don't have to pay big to play big, I like to say. So look, that's just, honestly, if you go, and the other thing, it's got a great community. on Ecamm. So if you want that, Ecamm, if you want to message me for the link, again, I'm not here to flog you Ecamm. I'm just telling you that tomorrow the prices are going up almost double. And I've just found this to be terrific value. The support has been really good. The Facebook community groups are great. And there's also such a disparate range of people using this for so many different purposes. So there are people like, personal brands like me who are using it, but then there are people out there, there are a lot of churches out using it and using it for live broadcasting their churches. There are people in sporting organizations using it. And because of that, you get all these amazing ideas. Very, very supportive group. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. It is. It's great. I just love that. Use it all the time. The other thing that's got a great song behind it. It's all that sort of, based on like a Maori. Yeah, Maori music is fantastic. I don't know. I find it very engaging. Here's a good comment from Lisa Evans. Julian Maith, I wonder who that bloke is the best coach if you want to improve your business video skills. Take your word for it, Lisa. That's all I can say. So Sally, you want to know, can you show if you have to stream to several channels, so plus YouTube? Can you? Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Autocorrect's gone on there. Let me click this on. So if show everything, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. And I've got everything on here. So yeah, this looks very busy, doesn't it? So you can move any of these windows. Oh no, I can't show you this because if I click the button, I finish. So what you can do, Ecamm goes to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, I think that's Periscope, a range of things, plus also it goes to Restream, which I'm coming to you now through Restream. So I'm coming via my camera, which is going into Ecamm, which is combining everything together, sort of like a little mini studio mix. And out of that, I've selected the output of that to go to Restream, and I'm using the Restream free account. And the Restream, and I've chosen to go to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube at the same time. So there are different things that you can go to. You can set it up. But honestly, it's, and even like with OBS, which is free, and using Restream is free, you can get into this live streaming game. I mean, almost to, today, if you wanted to, for no cost. So if you are, sort of hanging on. So Mark, you're in New Zealand at present, so no APT. I'm not sure what APT is. Maybe you can explain that to me. APT. Yeah, so there you go. Look, if you would like a link to that, I can provide you with one. Go on and search Ecamm if you're interested. I'm just saying that now is the time to do it. So there you go. You guys have a lovely start to your week. Oh, hang on, what have I done now? I've clicked something. Got to be careful with so many little windows open. What you click. There you go. Okay, Sally, you understood me. Great. Yeah, so Sally, that it is easy to get out to most platforms, and it seems at the moment Restream is one of the most effective solutions to do that. Yeah, Mark, I'll send you the link to Ecamm, sure. Okay. J.R. Russell. Oh, okay. Let me answer this from J.R. Are you using an ATM Mini? Right. This is again. So I am going to make some videos on this to explain to you. Let me just come back to me. There we go. I am going to do videos on this because I just spend a lot of time happily answering people's questions on this. And like I said, it's confusing if no one's ever told you this stuff. So for me, like I was doing there, you know, when I just said I wanted to I'll come back to me, I've got to sort of like pick up my mouse or my keyboard and find out, well, where do I have to click? You can use a number of bits of hardware which have buttons on them, which you can pre-program this into. So just by pressing a button, you could go to camera 1, press another button, go to camera 2. Think of it like being you think of a TV studio and you see all those monitors up there, and then someone sitting behind a big desk with lots of buttons and levers. They fade in between like that. Okay, that's called the vision switcher. So these are like little domestic versions of those big switches, and they're fantastic. So an ATM there's probably the brand is, I don't know what ATM stands for, or ATEM. What it is remember we were talking before about everything that you add, every bit of software adds a load onto your computer's engine and slows everything down and struggles. Well, the ATM is a little switcher that has its own engine built into it. So if it's particularly good if you're using a lot of inputs and you don't want your system to crash. So that's a great system for that. However, I found with Ecamm, because I use my smartphones, I use 2 more iPhones that come in, and because everything is Mac based, it really doesn't put much of a load on my processor. So what I use to switch is I use another software called Stream Deck. And it's like it's just another bit of software. But rather than me having the box with the cable that goes into my computer, I use the app version of it. And I love this. You can pre-program all these different keys to do different things that you want. But I love doing this because it means I have no cable. And it's great. So if you've seen some of my other presentations, you'll see that sometimes I get up and I leave screen, and then I take this with me and I switch and go into a video segment, which has me walking into the video segment, and then it just offers me more flexibility. So this is how I like to switch all this. And again, if you were to buy the hardware version of this, you would pay maybe $150. Let's just say that as a round figure. This costs me, I think, $4 a month in software fees in the rental. So if you wanted to test this, using the app version is a good way to get in and see if that's a good fit for you. Okay, there you go. Oh, Mark, you were saying APT means applicable, not a program. APT means relevant, not a contraction for a program name. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay, I'll talk to you later, Marcus. I'm like, gone over my head. All right, there you go. Leave that with you. Have a lovely day, and I'm going to hit stop. Bye. Oh, Greet. What is the name again? Here, Greet. There you go. Ecamm. ECAMM. Just send me a personal message. I'll send you the link. Hooroo. Bye.